Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. In this video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts about my shopping, my stash, so to speak, where I've used for the last 4 weeks, 4 different eyeshadow palettes for the entire week, and some really cool new stuff. Now, if you're interested, stay tuned. Oh, and also my haircut. Stay tuned. So I ended up being kind of desperate and I chopped my hair off. I think you guys all saw that in my videos. But so last night my hairdresser opened up for limited service only. I guess they can't do things like blow dry your hair, so they can't really like style your hair, but they can cover your roots and they can give you a haircut. So I had all my roots done, and she gave me a big haircut because I obviously had, do you see my little, I don't know if you can see it, kind of like not that great, but I had cut my hair so bad. She said I did a really good job, but she had to really cut a lot off to kind of balance it out. So I have sort of a, what do you call it? Sort of a modified shag, which is kind of really funky because it kind of reminds me of the wig I had on, you know, where I had I don't know if you guys saw it, but in my last week's video I had a wig on, and I really, I mean, to me, that wig, and that was sent to me complimentary for review from Wig Studio One, but that wig was just so cool because it brought me back to like the 70s, where I kind of thought that, you know, I used to wear my hair like that. Do you see that golf net behind me? That's Jay's little, he's trying to golf in the backyard, you know, keep his golf skills up. But anyways, that wig was really cool because it just kind of reminded me of the 70s or maybe the late 60s. You know, there's a couple of different shags. The Farrah Fawcett had like a long layered shag cut completely different. And then Jane Fonda, I don't know, was it in her, I don't know which one it was, but Jane Fonda had sort of this kind of a shag cut. Of course, she had a lot better hair, a lot more hair. But anyways, in the 70s, I used to wear but more layers, more spikier shag than this. So if I keep my hair this length, depending on what I do, if I keep my hair this length, I think next time I'm just going to have her go more shaggy. Either that or I'm going to try to clip it myself. I really don't know. I shouldn't try to clip it myself, but I have been trying to clip my own hair myself. So anyways, so today's Saturday. I don't know, I've got a couple of new things that were actually something that I talked about in my previous video, where I had been trying the number 7, the one with 50 SPF, and then I got a package in the mail from Marlene Fab Glam, where she had sent me ones that she had gotten for review. So I got that, and she sent me a couple of other goodies, so I was really super thrilled with that. And then I got some German skincare and mascara. So, you know, they just said, do you want to try it? And, you know, hey, I'll try it, right? No expectations. And that's what I really kind of like when you get the PR that's like that, where there's no expectations, you know, where if they send you something, it's because they want you to try their product, and there's no expectations of a review. Of course, they would like a review, and they would certainly like that review to be positive. I mean, wouldn't you? So, yeah, so I got that. This cracks me up, Jay's little toy out here. But, so I got that, and I haven't really started to use it yet, but I am looking forward to using it. And we really have to clean the yard up. The yard is a horrible mess. I mean, we don't really clean that out anyways. That's an overgrown area. But someday, you know, when we have time, maybe we'll get into landscaping and stuff like that. But right now, you know, we don't have time for that. So anyways, the German skincare stuff, I'll show you that in a minute when I go inside. But it was, it sounds really awesome, and I'm really excited about the mascara. So, and I have for the last 4 weeks used a palette a week. So I'm going to give you a summary of that when I go inside as well, and I'll tell you what I'm using this week. So hang on. Oh my gosh, it was a little windy out there, wasn't it, guys? I'm going to leave that clip in. I debated just deleting it and starting all over again, but you know, I was outside and wind and all. So anyways, I'm going to get right to it. I mentioned that I got this German skincare. This is from a company called Pharma Cosmetics. And to the best of my being able to determine, everything is written in German. So I had to have my mother interpret it. And my mother was so impressed. Now, I haven't used it yet, so I'm just going to tell you. And I'll link the information that I know about this, but I'm not even too sure about the pricing at this point in time. But I just wanted to show it to you because my mother, being a German lady, all her life she used Nivea. That's all she did. Nivea. That's all the cream that she used. So she told me this Nachtfetch. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's German. This is sort of a night cream. And she said the ingredients sounded really, really good. And then there's more of an intensive cream. And this has got some vitamin A and some vitamin E in it. And none of these are opened. So, and I'm not going to open them right now, not unless my mom wants to try it. And the reason I don't want to open it right now is because you can see it's got the little tinfoil secure covered here. So the reason I'm not going to open it right now is because I have too many things open. And I really said that it was not going to be opening up a bunch of new things. Now, I am going to be open because they sent me the 2 creams. And then they also sent me a mascara. And this is XL Volumizer in black. It's supposed to give you extra oomph on your eyelashes. So I'm super looking forward to this. I am almost on the tail end of my mascara that I'm currently using. I've got 2 open and I've been combining the both of them. So I'm almost on the tail end of them, and then I'm going to open this. I just have a thing about opening too many products and then not using them. So I mentioned outside that I had been using a palette a week, and I have. And, I started out, I think it was with the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon, and I know you can't get this anywhere. I did this for a week. I will tell you my thoughts on this palette. This palette, the payoff, the pigment was really nice. There was not a whole lot of fallout on this. Actually, every Too Faced palette that I currently have that I've used, I've really liked a lot. I haven't had a lot of fallout. You're going to get some fallout no matter what. So this was a pretty versatile palette for me. I like the fact that it had some lighter shades and some darker shades. If I could have picked the colors they put in here, I would have picked a more darker brown than the browns they have in here. I would have added maybe an almost black for me. And that would have made this a near perfect palette. So I enjoyed the heck of it. Out of this, I'm so glad I did this experiment. And then I think, and I don't remember what order I did it in, but then I did the Temptress Alter Ego, which is a dupe for a very famous palette, which I don't have. But this is what this one looks like. I really like the Alter Ego palette a lot. I thought it held up really well. I like the colors. This was not enough of a versatile palette for me to use on its own. Even though I struggled through the whole week with it, I used it, I created looks. I had more fallout with this than with the Too Faced, but I was just able to brush it off anyway, so it wasn't that bad. And then I used the, one whole week, I used the Naked 3. I started out rocky with this because I had a hard time getting any kind of a dark look. I love the colors, mauves, pinks, a little bit of gray. I absolutely love the colors. This would be a perfect palette for me if there was a black and another darker brown. But I did discover that the color at the very end, I can't remember what this one's called right there, that I could darken up my outer V really nicely with that. But I definitely feel that this is probably the closest to the perfect palette out of the ones I've had, with the exception again of the darker shades. And I guess I'm not going to get a perfect palette. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to get that perfect palette. This has taught me is that I'm going to have to create my own palettes. And I've done that. You know, I've got like a Z palette where I've taken some of my Viseart palette, my little things, and I bought the little round little pots of color that you can put in there. So I think creating my own palette is probably the way to go for me. Then I did this last week, I did the C color palette, Obsessed 3, and the Huda Mauve Obsessions, identical. I have one on one eye and one on the other eye. And the only thing I added to this is I have the Too Faced Then and Now. I added a little bit of the pink pop because I didn't have the right pink pop in this palette that I would prefer. I just didn't have it. So I ended up getting my Then and Now palette, the really big Too Faced Then and Now palette, and I did a little bit of the pink in the middle. So these went on identical. They did. They went on identical. I didn't see any difference in the color in how I made my eyes look when I had this one on and when I had, and I did it all week. I had one eye, and never saw a difference. They held up well. I think the amount of fallout was very minimum on both. I actually like these a lot. Dollar for dollar, the dupe is amazingly affordable. And this is, to me, an exact dupe of the Huda Mauve. So that was really, really super good. I think what I'm going to do this week, I don't know how I'm going to survive this, but I got this palette quite a while ago. And LA Girl. And when I got this palette, a lot of people were really talking about this palette. And I said, okay, you know, be yourself, LA Girl, give it a try. I bought it. I very rarely used it. I think I tried it once. You can see it fell and I broke one of the purples. So this week, I'm going to try using this palette all week and see how I do. But my whole experiment is to use a palette a week and to really dig into the stuff that I have instead of getting, you know, new stuff and not that I've ever really gotten a ton of new palettes, but I do feel that I have too many new palettes. So the other thing I got this week was I got like a sort of a mail day, you know, Marlene had sent me some stuff that she wasn't using. So one of the things that she sent me was the number 7 Protect and Perfect Advanced All-in-One Foundation. This is in the color week that I wear, and this is the one that's 50 SPF. I talked about it in last week's video, and she also had the powder, so I'll get backups of those. She also sent me this, and this is my Olay eyes, my beloved Olay eyes, so I'm so thankful. And then a little bit of this is the Lancome, this is the makeup remover. So she sent me that just as a little care package. So thank you so much, Marlene. But let me tell you what I've been doing most of all of week. I have this, and I have been mixing this with my CYO because I want to finish my CYO. And I've also been mixing it with the number 7 Lift and Illuminate. What an awesome combo. So what I have on my face this morning is I got up, I did my skincare. I did my Australian Gold, put that all over. I let it dry down. And then I went and I started to, you know, I did like my e.l.f. poreless primer on my nose and those areas. I did a little bit of color correction where my veins are. And then I took some of this in my opened one and some of the Lift and Illuminate. I mixed it all together. I just use my hand. I don't have a fancy palette or a plate. I just stick it in my hands and I rub it together. And I am a hand person. I use my hands to apply my foundation, and then I use a sponge to pounce it in when I'm all done. So I put it all over, and I'm telling you, it blended beautifully. Of course, they're the same colors, right? Both are wheat, but it gave my Lift and Illuminate a little bit more coverage. And between my Australian Gold 50 SPF and what I put on my face with this, and then mixed it with my Lift and Illuminate, I really feel that I had good sun protection. So I'm super impressed. I'm super impressed with this. So, you know, the number 7 Lift and Illuminate has been a long time favorite of mine. And then CYO came along and it was so much more affordable and it was better than, but then CYO went away, and then they kind of replaced it with the Kick-Ass, Soap and Glory Kick-Ass. But the colors were a little bit harder for me to match up. After I finished those, I just went back to my number 7 for drugstore. So hands down for me, my favorite drugstore foundation is definitely my number 7, my Boots number 7. I use the bottle, the Lift and Illuminate. I buy it at Walgreens, and you can often get phenomenal sales at Walgreens. I think when I bought this initially, and I bought both of these, and these are the ones that Marlene sent me. I have 2 that are open. I bought these. It was buy one, get the other half off, and it was on sale to begin with in Walgreens. So, and the last time I bought my number 7 Lift and Illuminate, it was buy one at full price, and you get the other one it was like you buy 2 and you get 1 free or something like that. It was really a good buy. So that is still hands down my favorite when it comes to drugstore foundation. So as I talked about outside, I went to the hairdresser. She had a lot of work to do to try to fix my hair. But you know what? I just was like, I had so much gray. And yes, I was wearing my wigs, and I love my wigs, and I love my hair pieces, and I'm still going to be putting them on. I have so many. I don't have to worry about really fixing my hair. I could just plop a wig on. And for example, the color's a little bit lighter. So if I want to be a blonde and I want to be Kristen, I'll put my Kristen wig on. I love this wig. So this is John Minot Kristen. I think, gosh, I'm not going to plop it on my head now, but I just want to show you guys. So you see me in different wigs. I mean, you know, really pretty. And Kristen, I bought, gosh, I want to say I've had this for about a year, but I love my wigs. I do. So yeah, I'm still going to be plopping my wigs on my head all the time, but I'm happy I got my roots taken care of, and you know, most of the gray's gone, at least for another, what will it be, a week before it grows out again? I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me in this week's video. If life settles down, I was going to go back to work on Monday, but I've got 2 classes back to back on Monday, so that's not going to be a good day for me to dismantle my computer and bring everything in. So at one point during the week when I'm not teaching, and I'm teaching Tuesday as well, I'll probably be going back in. But when life settles down, maybe I can get into a better filming routine, get back to normal. But thank you all so much for all your support and for always being here for me, and joining me in the videos and leaving me your comments and your thumbs up. And I really appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you, even those of you that may not like my video too much. I appreciate you as well. So I'll see you guys later. Have a great week. See ya.